Hi Leo, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. This is your year ahead. I'm so sorry the cards are out. I got into sort of, I think, 30 minutes of recording your video for your year ahead, and my computer decided that it's going to turn itself off and then do some diagnostic shit and then turn itself back on, so everything was lost. I had to take a moment not to scream because, you know, it's been a real labour of love trying to get all these readings out for the signs for the year ahead. So we're doing it on Movie Maker, not HD camera, I'm afraid, guys, because it's just going to take too long to render the video if I do it HD camera-wise. And I had to do Aries this way, the last two signs I was recording for. So sorry that your cards are out. It will make it quicker. This will probably hopefully now be about 15 minutes long, something like that. Sorry if you guys think you're being shortchanged or anything because the other guys have got longer videos, but a lot of people don't like long videos anyway. You've got 5 areas here. Alright, we're using for your reading the small miniature edition Rider-Waite's here for the anchor cards which are along here. This is the outcomes of each area. So you've got, bar the last 2 cards, the first 5 cards are all the outcomes of these various areas here. And we've got your home life here, your personal life here, and your career here, love here, and we didn't get to the future elements here and the advice card here, okay? Each area's got at the top 1 card and 3 at the bottom. The top card is the key card. This is the card that indicates what the energy will be around you in this particular area coming in 2019. And then the bottom cards are the situation around that, and this is where everything is heading in the outcome, okay? Sorry guys that it wasn't shuffled. You didn't see it shuffled on screen. I did because I recorded it, but I didn't know it was the computer was going to go off, so I couldn't save it. So yeah, we're using the Hanson Roberts deck for your mount for these cards here, the actual live spread. This is the anchor, this is the actual live spread. So we start off with the card number 1. This is your foundation card. This is your focus for the year 2019, and it also doubles up as the overall outcome for the personal area, which is in these 4 cards here. Focus for temperance, balance and harmony, bringing things into balance will be the focus for some of you Leos in 2019, temperance. The focus for temperance is also, for some of you guys, it's about making some adjustments to your life with the temperance energy. It's also about getting the correct combination, the correct flow, the correct blend as well, because temperance energy in the tarot is also a kind of healing energy. So when you get the temperance energy, it's all about getting the correct flow, the correct energy going in a situation when you've got the temperance energy showing there. If you look at the temperance card, there's an angel with 2 cups and he's got water flowing between each of these cups. What he's trying to do is get the correct measurements. So this is all about getting the correct balance going, whether that's in your work life, whether that's in your home life, whether that's in your love life. Temperance also is about getting that balance between work, home and work. So for example, if you're working too much with the temperance energy and not enough time in the home or with your partner or whatever, you'll be trying to kind of get some form of, what's the word I'm looking for with temperance? You're trying to, I can't think of what the word is I'm looking for, but you're trying to balance that out basically with the temperance energy. So I think that for the year 2019, Leo, it's all going to be about balance and trying to get things into order, which is what the temperance energy is all about. For temperance energy, I feel that with this temperance energy, some of you guys, the focus might be on trying to mediate a situation, because the temperance energy is all about mediation and compromise. So the focus might be on trying to get some form of a compromise. And if you think about it, compromise is the same thing as balance, because when you're trying to compromise in a situation, you're trying to get the right balance, you're trying to get the right energy together. Temperance to me reminds me of justice, very similar to the justice energy. It's all about getting that flow of balance going. With temperance, this area here was your first area. It was the personal life. And what I found with the personal life was the 9 of coins is the energy coming in. So the 9 of coins coming in as an influence, that I think for some of you guys is all about seeing the fruits of all of your hard work and labour. Because when you do the tarot, you've got to read the cards in the way that they are elementally presented. However, you don't read it strictly like that. So for example, this area here, which is your personal situation, Leo, the energy coming in around you guys is 9 of coins. Now on the 9 of coins, what we're seeing is this woman who is surrounded by pentacles, but she's also got lots of grapes on the bush as well. So it's suggesting that the pentacles are all of her hard work. she's gaining here. Nine of Coins, money, material wealth. But this wasn't about material wealth, because you got the Five of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Two of Swords. So cups are all about our emotions, and they're about our feelings. And with the Five of Cups, you're feeling upset, or you're feeling low, or you're feeling depressed, or you're feeling disappointed with the Five of Cups. Perhaps you've lost something here. Perhaps there's been the loss of a relationship, or the loss of a friendship, or a loss of a job with the Five of Cups. What I found with the Ace of Cups energy, and how I read this with the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups, if you look at this card, Leo, the water is overflowing from the cup. So there's an overflowing of emotion here as well with the Ace of Cups. Sometimes readers will read the Ace of Cups reversed as an overflowing, overwhelmment, emotional overwhelmment. I also read it in the upright like that as well, simply because the water is flowing from the cup. So this is your cup overfloweth. But we've got the first card here being sadness. So perhaps the cup overfloweth with some sadness showing up here. Do you see what I mean? So how I would look at this is saying that for some of you guys, you might be feeling overwhelmingly with this Ace of Cups sad here. And this could be the loss of anything or disappointment in anything. It doesn't specify what that disappointment is about with the Five of Cups. But I do feel in the personal life for some of you guys, there will be some overflowing of emotion with the Ace of Cups regarding a situation that has left you feeling disappointed for some of you Aries people, okay? However, this is the Saviour card, the Two of Swords, because the Two of Swords puts up some form of defence against this. If you look at the Two of Swords, this person is putting a block. They've got their arms crossed on their heart. So this person's protecting themselves emotionally. So if you think about it, you've got this overflowing of emotion, probably on a situation that's made you feel quite sad, quite disappointed. But I do feel that some of you guys are going to be protecting yourself. You'll be putting up a defence against this Ace of Cups. So I feel that you're not going to let this. I feel that you're not going to let this affect you as such, because the Ace of Cups, the Two of Swords, this person here is blocking out the effects of the Ace of Cups energy. Now, swords and cups don't necessarily blend together. Alright, not unless I get a card like the Page of Swords or something, which is driving that air element forward. So it's driving the water. You might be driving an idea, or feelings are increasing with the sword energy. With this energy of the Two of Swords energy, also look at the Two of Swords, it's being cut. Two of Swords is shaped like a pair of scissors. So some of you guys, if you are finding in your personal life in 2019 that you are feeling overwhelmed emotionally with that Ace of Cups, over a situation with the Five of Cups that has left you feeling a little bit negative, a little bit sad, a little bit disappointed. It might be with the Two of Swords energy. You decide to cut that because the Two of Swords represents to cut. So what we're looking at now is maybe cutting into this energy here, but not just cutting into it. The Two of Swords also represents for me a mask, because the eyes are covered and the heart is covered as well. So some of you guys might be masking this energy showing here. And the Two of Swords is all about our thoughts as well. So sometimes when you get the Two of Swords, it's self-focus, all right? And also the Ace of Cups can be healing as well. So if you are feeling overwhelmed or feeling upset with the Five of Cups because something hasn't worked out the way that you want it to in your personal life, you might be with this Two of Swords, because it's all about self-focus. You might be focusing on the self. You might be focusing on self-love, because the Two of Swords, if you get the Sun with the Two of Swords as well, it can be focused on the ego, for example. So some of you guys might be very much with this Two of Swords focusing on self-love, because the Ace of Cups is all about love as well. So focus on the self-love, focusing on self-love. So I do feel we can read this in an amalgamation of ways, and that's why the energies of the Nine of Coins is coming in, because the energy of the Nine of Coins is seeing that through all of your hard work and labour, you are starting to see the results, and the results of this are showing through the grapes. Grapes represent fruits of your labour. So you're starting, the energies of the fruits of your labour are coming into your personal life. You're going to start to see the rewards of all your hard work, because the situation underneath this is all about a situation that has left you feeling emotionally sad. Five of Cups energy. I do feel the self-focus here with the Two of Cups will be on healing. For some of you guys, you will be masking these emotions. You might be feeling overwhelmed considering something that has hurt you here, but the focus will be to mask those things. So either way, whether you're masking this, whether you're covering it up by doing other things, whether your focus is on self-love and healing from this situation of the Five of Cups, I do feel the energies coming up around this will show that you'll start to see the results of this energy showing up. So what it is that you're putting into healing this situation here, Leo, you'll start to see the results of all of that hard work showing up here with the Nine of Coins. And the overall outcome from that is temperance, balance, equilibrium, peace, harmony starting to be restored. with the Temperance energy, but it will all be from your hard work and effort. Very, very good energies for the first reading. The second cards that we came upon were the home, and I felt that within the home, the full energy shows up. So how I explained this and how I was looking at this, because I look at several things when I'm doing these readings, I feel that in the main with this full energy, Leo, what we're looking at with the Fool is, if you look at him, he's only got one bag. So this person, if you think about the Fool as being a child, or you think about the Fool as being a baby, we come into this world without any baggage at all. It's usually when we start to experience different things that he starts to build up his baggage. So the Fool goes out into the world completely naive, completely untouched by anything. But as he goes through the other major arcana cards, the Magician, the Empress, the Hierophant, he has to learn about rules and regulations with the Hierophant energy showing up there. He starts to go through the Lover's energy, learning about love and the responsibility of all of that. He has to go through the Chariot, learning about self-control, but also about having to move through limitations in life. The 8 card of the Hermit. The Fool learns about how to find a new path. He learns about how to go inward to find his own consciousness, that type of thing. As he learns each of these various steps of being human, he begins to become lumbered with all the baggage. He starts off being an innocent though. So I feel that here, this is all about being baggageless, all right? The energy coming into your home life is all about ridding yourself of baggage with the Fool energy. And I found that underneath that we have this Queen of Swords. Some of you guys might be speaking to a specialist. It might be how you end, because the 10 of Swords is all about endings. So it might be you speak to a specialist about how you're going to end. Knight of Coins can also be about the bills, what you have to pay out. So some of you guys might be speaking to a specialist on how you put a stop. Full stop is the 10 of Swords. How you put a stop or an end to the Knight of Coins energy. Perhaps something to do with paying money out, because this is a money card. So some of you guys might have debt in 2019. It will be going on from now. It will be going on from probably 5 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. But you've got baggage showing up here. But you've got the baggage that you're carrying is the Knight of Coins. It's the money. It's the bills that you've got to pay out. It's the responsibilities that you've got, because Knight of Coins also means to be responsible. So it might be for some of you guys, you're speaking to a specialist on how you put an end to all of these different responsibilities that you have, especially when they're financial responsibilities. For some of you guys, the energies of the Fool coming in, again, is all about losing that baggage with the Fool energy coming in. And around that, the focus for 2019 might be not a specialist, but the self. The Queen of Swords represents clear thinking. So the Queen of Swords deals with the ideas of how we find a way through analysis and clear thinking to cut through a problem. So some of you guys, the situation might be about you. Your clear thinking, your analysis, how you're going to cut through the problem. So how are you might be clearly thinking, or you might be analysing with this Queen of Swords how you put an end to various responsibilities that you have. Doesn't necessarily have to be money either. It might be work responsibilities with the Knight of Coins energy showing there. Knight of Coins really is a business card. It's to do with money and work. So it might be thinking clearly about how you end potentially responsibilities to do with bills that you've got to pay out, money, that type of thing. For some of you guys, it might be thinking clearly about how you put an end to in general, the mundane, the responsibilities that you have with this Knight of Coins energy showing here. Or you might be speaking to a specialist about that. The overall outcome from this was the Moon. So I felt that with the Moon being the overall long-term outcome from this situation, is I feel that there is still going to be some uncertainties in this area. Okay, because it might be if you've got debt, you're able to clear some of those debts. Maybe some of you guys are going to get onto an IVA plan, or maybe a debt management plan. But it might be that, yeah, you've got other debts in other areas, or you've got other responsibilities as well. All right, the Moon card for me isn't about the lightening of the load, but the Moon card is also about guidance too. So it might be the long-term energy showing up here is that you've got long-term guidance going on, because the Moon, when that shows up, it shows up as an energy of light being shed on a problem. And you can see the Moon is guiding in the darkness these dogs. So these dogs are very much reactionary to the Moon. They sense something there. The powers of the Moon is what they're sensing. They're sensing, sometimes they're sensing danger. I won't lie about that card. But for some of you guys, there might be some long-term energies of uncertainty around this area. For some of you guys, it might be that in the long term, you've got consistent guidance going on here, perhaps with the Moon energy showing up. Around your career energy, we had the Wheel of Fortune being the energies coming in. The energies of destiny, fate, unpredictability, things coming in from the blue with the Wheel of Fortune, changes as well with that Wheel of Fortune, perhaps for the better. I feel that underneath this, what we had the Page of Cups, the Judgment card, and the Devil. And I felt here that some of you guys were being called. Okay, I feel that you're being called to explore with this Page of Cups energy. It could be a creative direction for some of you guys. I got the impression when I looked at this, some of you guys, you've got a sideline thing that you like to do. So some of you guys, it might be with the Page of Cups, you like to do painting, or you like to do poetry, or some of you guys are thinking about writing a book with that Page of Cups energy. Some of you guys might make your own clothing from home, or you might like fashion design with the Page of Cups energy. But I feel that with the Judgment energy, you're being called to bring this back out. You're being called to actually re-examine this energy of the Page of Cups. It might be something spiritual here. It might be something to do with the psychic. It might be something to do with mysticism. It might be something to do with tarot reading. I think that you're being called to reinvestigate this energy here. But if you notice, Leo, the Judgment energy is tooting its horn towards the Devil. So the Devil card is all about our fears, and it's all about the limitations that we often put on ourselves, and you're being called to actually look at those limitations and also to release them. If you look at the Judgment card, he's calling directly in the ear of the Devil. Now if you look at the Devil energy, he's got his hand up to his ear, but he's saying, I'm hearing you. Can you look at that? Look at that. See that? Can you see how the horn is directly calling towards the Devil, and the Devil's got his hand up, then he's like what? So I almost feel like you guys are definitely being called here. I see you as being the Devil, Leo. I see you guys as the Devil and these two people here. So you are, it looks to me, it's through your own negativity, some of you guys, that you are placing with the chains around the self. You're placing chains and limitations on the self. Okay, and you're being called to remove those chains here and to actually go forward and investigate perhaps a new creative path. Okay, perhaps this is a new work path. Perhaps this is something to do with learning with the Page of Cups energy. The Devil energy showing here, it could be your 9 to 5. It could be for some of you guys, you're in a routine, because this card can be about repeating patterns as well as the Devil, because you're never letting go of those chains. So in the work area, it might be for some of you Leos that what you're doing is you're doing a 9 to 5, and you're doing it because, or you're doing a job that you can't stand, or you feel limited in the job that you do here. Okay, and it could be for some of you guys, you feel limited because you're not progressing, because the Devil is not a card about progress. It's a card about limitations and being stuck. But the Judgment energy is a card about progress, because it's calling into the Devil. And can you see how the hand is up to the Devil's ear and he's saying, okay, I'm listening. So it's almost like you're being called here. All right, the universe is telling you that it is time now to take those limitations off. It is time now to take the chains off. So if you're in a job that you don't like, or if you're in a job and you're just doing it for the money, or you're limiting yourself in some way in terms of work, I feel 2019, the universe is really going to start calling you, and it's going to start saying to you, look, you need to take off these limitations now. You need to get rid of these chains, the things that have been binding you in terms of you progressing forward. And for some of you guys, it might not just be work. It might be that there's a career path in terms of a hobby that you like, in terms of something creative that you like. As I've said, writing, poetry, music. The Page of Cups is a musician as well. Something to do with art, for example. Artistic creativity is the Page of Cups card as well, showing up here. Could be something to do with learning about something to do with your own intuition and how you build that. It could be something to do with tarot reading, or as I've mentioned, mysticism or mediumship or something like that. While you're being called to take the chains off from your everyday life. Okay, from the things that you do in your everyday career, and really examine this place here. So I feel that in 2019, in terms of career, I really do feel that there is going to be a calling here. For some of you guys, it might be the Page of Cups is your life purpose here, and you're being called to take the chains off. The chains might be in the way that you think, oh, I can't do this because I've got to pay the bills, or I can't do that. I can't go for my dreams of being an award-winning writer because I've got to focus on doing a job that makes me unhappy, but yet, you know, I'm able to put food on the table. You have to try and find a compromise in that for some of you guys showing up here. So you're being called. You're being called to not only examine your life purpose, but you're being called, I think, in 2019, Leos, to examine a path that you've left for dead for far, far too long. Some of you are being called to go back to college, to go back to university, to study a particular route here. The overall outcome from this was the Fool. I'm seeing the overall outcome. The long-term outcome is you're going to be at the beginning of a new direction. The beginning of a new path is the Fool energy. All right. So whatever this is the long-term range of this thing is you're just at the start of something new here for some of you Leos, and you really need to look at examining it, because I think it's going to benefit you in the long run. The next item that we looked at, the next area we looked at was love. And what I was seeing was the energy coming in for your love area is the Tower. Some of you it will be breakup. Some of you guys, there's going to be disruption in love with the Tower energy. Underneath that, we've got a Three of Cups. I'm going to read this in a few ways. Number one, I feel that some of you guys are in partnership with the King of Swords. All right, but you've got a setback happening here with the Five of Swords. So some of you guys, it might be that you're having a dalliance, or you're in a partnership, or you've got a real kind of emotional soulmate connection to a King of Swords. This could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It could be a boss. It could be somebody who's quite professional. Doesn't have to be, but it could be one of any of those things. It could just simply be a King of Swords. Okay, you're talking, you're communicating with the King of Swords. Some of you guys are you've got this really amazing connection with that Three of Cups with this individual. I do feel that if it's a disruption that's coming in terms of love, it might be because there's a setback happening here with the Five of Swords. Now, you'll notice on the Five of Swords, the third swordsman is casting these two people out. So if this is you in a partnership with this person, it might be that the disruption is because you're being cast out. You might be being cast out, and you might be being victimized with this Five of Swords energy by a third party, a third person. This could be a partner of the King of Swords. It could be a family member of the King of Swords. It could be your own King of Swords. Sorry, it could be your own, somebody within your family or within your immediate group. There's somebody here for some of you guys that probably won't like a partnership that you're in, and they'll be trying to sabotage it, because the Five of Swords also means sabotage. So you might have somebody around you who's trying to sabotage a relationship with you in. The overall outcome from that might be, with the Hierophant energy, long-term energy, might be that you have this commitment with this King of Swords nevertheless, or it could be that you're going to have to adhere. If you look at the Hierophant has two people on the card as well. So when you do tarot, look at your pictures as well, because you've got two people here in the background, and they're being cut off by an individual here. They're being sabotaged. They have a greater power above them, and there's a greater power above these two people on the Hierophant. So some of you guys, if you are finding that you're being separated by a lover in 2019, Leo, through somebody else who's trying to sabotage you, it might be the overall outcome of the way things are heading. It could be towards court, for example, especially if this King of Swords has a partner and they're disrupting the relationship that you have with this individual. It might be where everything is heading is towards court to sort it out, because Hierophants represent court. It could also be that where things are heading is having to obey or listen to the rules of another individual, for example, as well here. For some of you guys, it could be, they'll just be commitment straight off anyway. In the long term, you'll get through it. For some of you guys, it might be that you already have a partner, but that partner might be contacting or communicating with other groups, the Three of Cups. King of Swords is a communicator, and he goes, and whatever he says, he does. So you might have somebody who's communicating with others here. Might be a breakup for some of you guys, hence with the Five of Swords, you, as the third swordsman, Leo, cutting this individual out. Overall outcomes could be, well, this heads towards the courts, for example. Divorce, for example, the Hierophant energy can also show up in divorce readings. I feel that for some of you guys also, it might be that you have somebody around you who is not averse to, or is the word averse? Who's not really interested in a partnership, because King of Swords can also be somebody who's quite a cold character. And if you look at him, he's got a sword, as if to say swords represent protection. So this person here might be protecting himself from being in a partnership with you, in which you end up casting this individual out. Okay, and therefore the energy of the Tower could mean a breakup again, because it might be you've got somebody around you who's not really that interested, or they're trying to protect themselves with the sword against being with you in the Three of Cups energy. Could again represent the idea of casting somebody out with the Five of Swords energy. You might be dealing with somebody who in your partnership is with this King of Swords energy, possibly somebody who's playing mind games. So this would be somebody who is probably very, very manipulative. You might be dealing with somebody who's quite manipulative in a partnership showing here. Again, the energy could be showing coming in disruption or breakup, because underneath this you've got a King of Swords who's very disruptive and very kind of conniving and manipulative in your partnership here. The overall outcome is the Hierophant energy, rules and regulations probably having to be put in place there. Let's have a look finally. So I didn't quite finish this off before the bloody computer went off. We have the Four of Cups coming into your future energy. Four of Cups as an energy coming in shows dissatisfaction. It shows offers on the table, but perhaps taking time to contemplate those offers or some form of dissatisfaction here. What's underneath this? So this could be work. Page of Pentacles energy shows here. It could be an offer with the Page of Pentacles energy. Could be a small amount of money. It could be paying money out in installments with that Page of Pentacles. It could be a child. Let's have a look at the next card showing up here. Well, I certainly feel we've got Page of Pentacles, which is a check or it's money. Something perhaps legal here. Could be being rewarded with money here. So it could be a financial reward because justice is a reward. It might be a financial settlement. Could be something to do with a legal matter. Financial is the Page of Pentacles and settlement can be the justice energy showing here. Family matter here, but I feel the energy coming in is of unhappiness. If you look at the two cards here, one shows an offer of a cup, one shows an offer of a pentacle. All right, so you are being offered something here, okay? It's almost like you've got a financial settlement coming in for some of you guys, but it might be because it shows as a Page of Pentacles, it might be a small financial settlement in terms of it could be a family matter with the Ten of Cups, could be marriage with the Ten of Cups, could just be within the home, but I think you have a small financial settlement coming into the future areas showing up there with the Ten of Cups within a family matter with the Ten of Cups energy showing there. But I feel the energy coming up. Some of you guys might not be satisfied with this. All right, you may not be satisfied with this. Okay, I'm seeing. I don't think that this relates to any of these areas here. Potentially, it could be the home situation here. But I get the impression that this is all about losing baggage in terms of the money that you're paying out, in terms of your financial responsibilities, because the Knight of Coins means to be financially responsible. So it might be here in the home area, you've got a specialist here who you want to put an end. You want to put an end to some form of financial responsibility that you've got with the Knight of Coins energy here. Hence the energy coming in as of losing baggage with that Fool energy showing here. All right, and it might be if this is in the overall outcome, this is something that's uncertain long-term going future. It might be because for some of you guys, if it is something to do with a legal situation, it might be to do with a small payout here, small financial settlement made with that justice energy within a family situation with the Ten of Cups energy showing here. Could be a marriage, whatever it is, especially if this is anything to do with marriage as well. All right, let's have a look at what the overall outcome is from that. The Lovers shows up here. Okay, so I feel the Lovers really showing up as the overall outcome, long-term outcome. It's either I feel that there's going to have to be some compromise with that, perhaps with that Lovers energy. Maybe some of you guys are going to have to make a choice, head over heart decision. Might be that your heart says I deserve more in this energy showing here, but mentally you might say to yourself, but you know what, the likelihood of me getting more is probably very unlikely, so I'll just settle for what I've got. It might be in the outcome, maybe it becomes more attractive to you with that Lovers, but I feel the Lovers as the overall outcome says perhaps there needs to be some form of a compromise going on here. There'll be a compromise or some form of maybe an alternate agreement or something like that. Let's have a look at your final cards. What are your wishes for the year? The Hanged Man. Okay, the Hanged Man, I feel that the wishes for the year will be for change, because Hanged Man means change. I feel that what you want for the year is for things to be very different, because the Hanged Man means different. He's hanging upside down and not in the upright. So I feel that your wishes for the year are going to be a difference in various areas of your life, a difference certainly in the home area, especially as I feel that some of you guys are trying to shed some form of financial responsibility that you've got going on here. So it might be that your wish is for some form of a change here with the Hanged Man energy. It might be that your hopes are to do something different, especially because this is doing something different. He's doing something different. So the hopes with the different card might be alluding to also, Leo, your career area, where you are being called to examine something new, something that you are creative and good at, something that you might not have much experience in, something that might be a hobby with that Page of Cups, but you are being called to let go of something that you are some limitations that are either standing in the way or limitations that you're imposing on yourself. So the hope with the Hanged Man might be to do something different in terms of your career in 2019, okay? I feel that possibly with the personal area as well, the hope would be, especially with that Five of Cups overflowing there, overwhelming sadness perhaps for some of you guys here, but with the Two of Swords trying to mask that, or for some of you guys focusing on healing over a sad matter. It is, I feel, with the Hanged Man energy, it might be the hope is slow moving healing coming in with the Hanged Man energy. The Hanged Man can also mean to sacrifice oneself as well, you know, to get yourself into an awkward position. Even though you don't want to do it, you may have to do it for a certain time before you can get to where you go. So it might be, for some of you guys, the hope is that you're going to be able to, especially in maybe the career here, make some sacrifices here. Perhaps in the love area here, to make some sacrifices as well, potentially. Especially if there's any religious factors showing up here, hope might be to make some sacrifices off the self, your own personal beliefs, perhaps with that energy showing there. Let's have a look at where the year is culminating. It's the Magician. It's nice. The year with the where everything is heading is, and you've got the Fool and the Magician. They're both new beginning cards. He rules the aces, does the Fool, does the Magician energy showing here. And this is that you're at the start of something that could be quite incredible going forward. Okay, so how everything is working out, where everything is heading is the Magician. Okay, I think where everything is heading is you guys taking your power back, being in far more of a controlled position. Okay, even if in the future element here, there's something that you receive, it might be a small payout here with the Page of Pentacles, a small settlement, small financial settlement here, in terms of a family situation or a home situation, but the energies coming in are an offer that you're not really that happy about. You might also be contemplating it. So the energies coming in here might be that you're contemplating an offer here, okay, because it's about a small financial settlement here. It might be you're contemplating it for the family. How's it going to benefit the family? That type of thing. I feel that everything is culminating to, you know, you guys being back at square one, where what you're doing is finally, you've been through this roller coaster in 2019, but you find yourself to be in a far more powerful position where you can start now to create something new within your life, which is what the Magician is. He's a creator. What is the advice for the year? The Six of Rods. Okay, so the advice for the year, number one, you guys are going to have a lot of victory and success. I feel that you're going to have people that back you and people that support you through 2019. But I also feel that you need to go out there in 2019 and be confident. Some of you guys really need to be confident in who you are. You need to present yourself, not be afraid to present yourself. I feel that the advice is that after the Five of Wands, after the disputes that you might find, after battles that might be fought, you'll come out the other end and you'll come out feeling far more better, more positive, and feeling far more in control. Let's have a quick look at what the blessings are for you guys. What are the blessings coming in for Leo? I hope I've not been calling you Sagittarius or anything. I've got that word in my mind at the moment, Sagittarius, for some reason. Let's have a look. What are the blessings being bestowed on Leo? Oh, this just flipped out. Yeah, a blessing for solace and hope. That's your card showing up there. You've got a blessing for solace and hope in 2019, Leo. Let's have a quick look at that. So 41 is the card. Right, so this is a blessing for solace. The comfort that comes in the form of good fortune, strange little moments that bring you back to the sense that the universe is a place where you are cared for, considered and important, and that this solace brings you hope for the future and anticipation of the fair things that life will continue to bring to you. Okay, so there's never-ending hope here. You've got the blessing of that. So just carry on doing it, because the universe is going to bless you with, you know, with the feeling that you are going to have what you want come to fruition for you. You're going to have it. I feel a lot of this is in the emotional area here of the page, of the personal area showing up here. Blessing for solace and hope is definitely, I feel, in your home area, probably ridding yourself of certain financial responsibilities. I feel that certainly if love isn't working out, there'll be hope in that area that you'll be able to resolve a situation, whether it's you getting rid of someone or whether it's you adhering to something that may be having to make a sacrifice. I feel that certainly in your careers, you know, for some of you guys, it's your calling is to examine something new here, something that you've put by the layway in light of feeling that you need to make money, or you know, it's a case of that there is a new creative path for you to take, but you're being called to let go of some limitations that you've placed on yourself, or the limitations that are being placed on you. I feel that your blessing is that, you know, a blessing for solace and hope to go forward and to achieve all these things. All right, that is your reading. That's your life spread for 2019, Leo. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and have a great year. Take care. Bye-bye.